I got the notification. There you go.
Hey, I just wanted to do it right at 3,
And that's cool. It got the notification on the Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Hello.
Hey Anna.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Anna.
All right, we're good. All right, everyone, we're going to get started. Welcome to the live BGCM Scholarship Show. We are live actually on YouTube right now. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. We're just going to go around, I guess, the Zoom meeting real quick before we get started. We actually have a special guest, or 2 special guests, I should say, from the Office of Latino and Latin American Studies. So they're going to be having the majority of our time just talking about pretty much their program, organization, exactly what they do, pretty much exactly what they do for pretty much the students at UNO. So I'll start. My name is AJ Holmes, BGCM Scholarship Team Post-Secondary Coordinator. And we love that you guys are, involved in this Zoom call. And Jermaine, you can go next and just say who you are, your position, and all that good stuff.
Yep, Jermaine Jones, VP of Community and Scholarship Outreach. Me and AJ on the same team, managing the scholarship program and working with our teens with college and career programming. So glad everybody is on the YouTube broadcast today.
Melissa.
My name is Melissa. I just graduated from Omaha South. I don't know what else to say. I go to the South Omaha Club.
And what you gonna be doing in the fall?
Attending UNO, hopefully. Yeah. Well, no, not hopefully. I will.
Yeah, you will be.
Oh, yes. Anyone can go next.
Anna, you can go.
Okay, my name is Ana Diaz, and I am the Community Engagement Assistant at the Office of Latino Latin American Studies. And I also just graduated from UNO 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Congrats again.
So my name is Cristian Doña, and I'm the director of the Office of Latino and Latin American Studies at UNO. I'm also an associate professor of sociology and anthropology, obviously in the same university. Thanks for the invitation. We've had a long history of friendship with the South Side Boys and Girls Club, and we find that this, what you guys are doing, is an excellent activity for all those like Melissa who will be going to UNO and other universities and colleges in a few months.
Yeah.
Nice. Jalen?
My name is Jalen, and I go to Northwest High School.
Nice. And Jalen you'll be a senior next year. So.
Yeah.
Nice. William, are you there? He's there, but I don't know if he's there. He might not be there.
I know he's around. Yeah, there you go.
Give me one moment real quick. I help my mom carrying these groceries.
Good son. He's a good son. We can roll. He'll come back on.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna let you guys, you guys lead, your presentation in a sense. If you guys want to share your screen with certain things that you might want to show, you can definitely do that. this pretty much is your time, and then we'll have questions and answers at the end.
Perfect, thanks. So the Office of Latino and Latin American Studies is the only specialized center in the University of Nebraska system, so in all the campuses, that deals with research, teaching, and community engagement for Latinos in Omaha and in the whole state. So it's a great thing that we have it here in Omaha. It's been around for about 16 years. I've been the director for the last 3. I'm still fairly new. I come from Chile. Actually, they brought me here from Chile, so I'm also 3 years in the city. And we have a major and a minor, which is what might be of interest to those who are watching this at this moment. Our major is in Latin American Studies and a minor in Chicano Latino Studies. And those are interdisciplinary programs, which means that we have courses from mostly all or almost all colleges in the university. So wherever you are in the university at this moment, you can take classes that might lead you to a dual major or a minor with us, right? We have classes on the history of Latinos in the US and the history of Latin America, on social problems, sociology classes like the ones that I teach or other colleagues teach, both of Latinos and Latin America. My work in particular is about migration. So I do a lot of, my classes are all connected to migration studies within the Americas. We have classes on Afro-Latinos, which is a topic that for many, many years, centers of Latin American studies and Latino studies have left behind. And that's a wonderful class that we've taught a couple of times. We have classes on public health and Latinos. We're re-teaching that class this year. So it's a very varied and wide approach to studying. So for example, Melissa, what do you want to major in?
I'm planning on majoring in medical humanities. Like, it's something that really interests me. So yeah.
The medical humanities program is a new program in the college. It's an excellent program. And you have to think that the largest majority in the state in a few years are going to be Latinos. So whatever you do, you'll have to work in an environment where you will be working with Latinos. So if you want to work in a hospital or in any setting associated with health, then adding or including a degree in Latin American studies might be a lot of help, especially when you are part of that culture. Now, when you're not Latino, it's still important, right? I mean, this class that I've been talking about, the Afro-Latino, is actually a shared course between the Black Studies and us. We created the class, they participate, but it's a shared class, right? One of our faculty teaches a class on race and ethnicity, which also deals with the minorities in this country, all minorities, right? Or at least cultural minorities in this country. So it's an important venue for anyone who wants to understand more about the social world and connect it to what they want to do. We also do research, and I personally like to include our students in research. I just got an email, for example, that we're going to start working on a small project on oral histories of the pandemic among Latino communities. A very small project for the next few months, and most of the work is going to be done by students. The ones who are going to be doing the interviews are going to be trained to do the interviews. All of that are going to be students. We obviously going to pay them, but they're going to be directly connected with research, with community engaged, community-based research. Our third leg, so we have our teaching, our courses, our research, where I like to get our students involved as much as possible. The third leg is the community engagement, and that is our community engagement associate. We changed recently, so I need to learn the new title. And she can explain more about that.
Yeah, so for the community engagement part, we try to strive and go out to the community and reach out, obviously, to the teens that are going to come into UNO or that are just thinking about higher education in general. So we like to do class visits to high schools. We did one to the South Boys and Girls Club also. So we just like to go there, let them know about our scholarship opportunities, about our volunteer opportunities that we have for the students, anything like that, just so that they can stay active in the community. Besides that, we also do like class visits to the classes that UNO actually offers. Just to get students interested in our program, to see if they have any questions regarding our scholarships, our office, the resources that we offer, or anything like that. But actually, we do have a scholarship, mostly for you guys that are entering UNO, or if you know anybody right now that it currently is at UNO. I'll share my screen and actually share the flyer with you guys if I'm able to. It's not letting me share it.
Oh, it's not letting you share it? Oh no.
No.
How about we do this real quick? If you can email me real quick that flyer. I don't know why I didn't share.
Yeah, no problem.
Anna, you can send it you can put it in the chat probably, or send it via Zoom, and
Oh
that
yeah.
way everyone in the chat will have it,
Mhm.
and you guys can share it. Share the screen as well.
True. Oh yeah, like the link and stuff.
Let me do that.
That's a good idea.
But it's actually called the Next Generation Leadership Scholarship. And so hopefully it's set. I think it did. But it's depending on the financial need of the student, but we award them, and then we have a learning community along with it. So once you receive the scholarship, you actually will be along with other scholars that have received it as well. And you will have monthly meetings with them about the resources that are on campus, such as like the academic center, the counseling department as well. Anything, help with resumes, help with job interview skills, any sort of thing like that, just so that students are more aware of the resources that UNO and like Omaha in general have to offer. Just because we have seen that learning communities students do more well in them, just because they have more of a connection with other students, even if they might not have them in classes, if they might not have them in their same major. It just allows for them to be able to connect with other people outside of their major or their minor sort of thing. But the deadline, we actually extended the deadline to June 12th, just because of everything going on. We want to give students more time to get those reference letters, to work on those essays that they have to write for the scholarship. But you guys have the link right there on the flyer, and then it'll let you know like all the steps that you have to do. It's just general information, obviously those recommendation letters, and then like your community service outside of school and sort of thing like that. But if you guys have any questions, please let us know. We're here to answer them, to help you guys out. And then we also have our email and contact information on there if later on you guys have more questions. Aside from that, we also have a lot of projects that we do. So actually this past August, we had the Arte Latinx, and that was a art exhibit where we did an exhibit with Latino artists in the state of Nebraska. And so we got to showcase their art at El Museo Latino. And it was fun. We got to invite a lot of people. We had free food for everybody, which is always a great thing. And then we got to connect with other art resource centers around Omaha and around the state of Nebraska. So that was a lot of fun. We got a lot of people to submit their artwork, and then they were juried by artists from all across the United States. And then when we're not doing that, we actually have Cinemateca, which is our partnership with Film Streams, which we do a film series. This year, we're still kind of planning it just because of everything going on. We're not sure the way that it will go because obviously social distancing and everything like that. But hopefully we'll have more information soon as to if it will be in an online format or how it will be. But we're hoping to still have something so that people can still look forward to an event during the months of September.
So how we do it? Do you guys have any questions, or are there any questions in the YouTube channel, or I can go on with some other things that I have.
Yeah, do you guys have any questions? There's no questions right now on the YouTube, the live channel, but anybody on the Zoom call, you guys have any questions?
I just have a question over the recommendation letters. Like, do you know who you guys are asking for? Like, who do we ask? Like, if
Yeah,
there's
it's
any specific-
usually just teachers or people that can like talk about you, your community work, or anything like that.
Now, it's important to mention that this scholarships and both the scholarships that we have are not only for Latinos, right? Any student can apply. In fact, I think it was last year or a couple of years ago that we had 1 Latino out of the 10 scholarships we gave. So it's not only for Latinos. The important thing is that you cannot be a major in business or in IS&T, the science, technology, engineering program. You have to be from education, arts and sciences, CPACs. So the largest programs in the largest colleges in the university, and at the same time, arts and sciences, at least, is the college that many students arrive to first, especially those who are exploring what they want to study. So it's open to all students from OPS schools, and Anna can help me here because I always mixed up the rest of the districts.
OPS, Bellevue, I believe.
Papillion, La Vista.
Papillion, and I'm not remembering Millard, I believe, but I'm not sure.
That's not Millard.
Yep, Miller.
Now I put a link on your on the chat that will take you directly to our scholarship page.
I will share that real quick.
And the first 2 are the ones that we as an office manage.
Oh no. Bam, there it is. My computer's so slow.
So that is a page where we have the 2 scholarships that we manage, but also if you continue down, there are several other possibilities for students that want to apply for scholarships. And we all know that university is expensive. You know, getting a university or a college degree is expensive. But at the same time, we know that the difference between those who do get a university degree and those who don't, in terms of income, it is roughly about $20,000 to $25,000 a year. So from an average of $50,000, you go up to an average of $75,000 to $80,000 a year. That is the difference of getting a college degree. And with these scholarships and with the support that we have in terms of the learning community, what we want to say is that getting a degree, it is possible. It's possible for everyone. For everyone that wants to get a college degree, there are opportunities. There are several opportunities, right? In the case of Latinos, it's if you have DACA or TPS, you can still attend UNO and get some scholarships that are available, right? So it is important that you all guys see that it's not for just a few people to get a degree, but for everyone who wants to, okay? Now about our program, AC, if I can ask you a favor, can you go to our main page on that same website? So you go all the way up, go to the one that, just click on on one there, perfect. So I wanted to point out from our website one thing. So if you go down there, we've been working on this series that we call Quarantining with OLLAS. And in Quarantining with OLLAS are short 15-minute videos prepared by our faculty where they talk about what they do. All right, so far we have 3. Hopefully next week we're going to have a couple more. But we have former professor of art, of art history, one from psychology, and one from education, who works on bilingual education, among other things. Right? So if you guys are interested, just go in, watch our faculty, and you'll know more about what we do in terms of what our faculty does. Now, I was doing some search. Go ahead. So I was doing some searches a few weeks ago, and I found out that students that get a degree in what's called area studies or cultural studies, so women and gender studies, Black studies, Latin American studies, actually have a really good salary. Beyond what people think that those things are not real or are not relevant things. They do get a very good salary. We're talking about an average of $80,000 to $90,000 a year for those who have careers in cultural studies and social sciences, which is really good. And as I was mentioning earlier, while every career, every degree can pair very well, there's some degrees that are particularly more suited. So medical humanities, or people that want to go, into medical areas. You know that at this moment, a large percentage of those who are working in the front line against COVID-19 are Latin American immigrants, and from everything from doctors to people that clean the hospitals. Also, for those who want to be teachers, right? And Melissa can say more about what happens in South High, right? How important are teachers that have a cultural background, a good knowledge of the Latino experience. We actually have a former teacher of South High who's now doing his PhD in education as an OLLAS faculty. Social work. There's a shortage of social workers that have a cultural background with Latino studies. Psychology, mental health. There's many areas that pay really, really well and fairly easily. History, sociology, political sciences. So it is easier. But we are working on, and this is something that sadly was derailed by COVID-19. With a colleague from the College of Information Science and Technology, we were working on a dual major. A dual major is that you take the 120 credits you need to take, you map them in a way that you fulfill the requirements for 2 degrees at the same time. And the dual major that we were working on was on IT innovation and Latin American studies. So hopefully this year we were going to have an open house. We're going to explain more about this. Hopefully we'll get to do it next semester or in the spring of next year. But it is to develop a program where students have a technological learning on IT in general, software design, hardware design, website, everything that they do, security, but at the same time have the strong cultural background and social science background that we provide in OLLAS, in our Latin American Studies major, right? And it is to continue growing with those kind of programs. Our next step is actually to go to the schools that we have less members, right? Business. People that work in international business, those working in economics, everything, they are also very, very much interested in working with people that have cultural background in either Latino populations in the US or Latin American countries. So the idea is to develop that one as well. So have a well-rounded student that can, at a moment's notice, go and work in a different country because he or she knows the culture and the language and everything. A few months ago, I got an email from a big company here in Omaha requesting interns, right? They were bilingual and they had a cultural background in Latino and Latin America, right? And they needed that because they do a lot of business with, and they have plants and things in Mexico, for example. So those are some of the combinations that you can do with our degrees. So you saw our website, that's where you can get more information about us. Anna, is there something else you want to add, or you want to correct me on something?
I don't think so, but if you guys have any questions, if it's not about our program, if it's something we can help, mostly if you guys are the first person that's going to attend college from your family, if there's anything we can answer for you guys, please let us know, whether it's about maybe like it's about dorms or it's about other organizations on campus, anything we can do to help you guys out, we would love to do that.
Sorry. Anna has a lot of experience working with the multicultural organizations in campus. Anna, maybe you can talk a little bit about that part. It's not OLLAS, but it's...
Yeah. So there's actually a lot of multicultural based organizations on campus. I'm a part of Sigma Lambda Gamma National Sorority on campus, which is a Latina-based multicultural sorority. And then there's also Lambda Theta Nu sorority, which is also Latina-based, and then Sigma Lambda Beta fraternity. And so there are a lot of organizations on campus you guys can get involved in. So like the first week, usually at UNO, there's sort of like a student involvement fair where you guys can learn more information on all of the organizations that are on campus, whether it's like sports or it's student-based organizations or honor societies, anything like that. And you guys can sign your name and then you'll get emails if you guys want to attend a meeting, just get to know the members, that sort of thing. But everybody's always willing to help at UNO. You'll always find somebody that's willing to lend a hand to you if you guys have any questions and that sort of thing. And it's always nice having people that are there to help you, that sort of relate to what you're going through as like a first gen student. And that
I wanted to add something that Anna just mentioned. There's a new group on campus that works specifically with first generation students. Anna, can you talk a little bit about that one, please?
Yeah, so you mean the First Generation Guild?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have the First Generation Guilds, which is sort of a group of faculty at UNO from different sort of areas. So whether that's like the Goodrich Scholarship, the Buffett Scholarship, graduate studies, undergraduate studies, all these people that are working together just to make sure that first generations have that support if they are not in a learning community. Just because at times when they are not, it seems like they struggle a little bit more than those students that are a part of a learning community. So they're trying to make sure people are getting the resources they need, having events where students can meet other first generation students, other faculty that are first generation. Just so that they have somebody to connect with on campus to know that, you know, they sort of know what you're going through as well. And then the cool thing is actually once you graduate and you're a first gen student, you get like a really cool medallion you get to wear at graduation. I actually have mine, so I'll show you guys. Since I wasn't able to like walk, I still have it just because it's really nice, but it just says like first generation Nav. So it's like really cute. And then OLLAS actually does, we have a sash that you guys get to wear if you are a major or minor. And then you guys get to wear it on graduation day as well.
Do you guys have any questions?
Any questions, anybody? Well, two students asked the question last week. I guess Anna would know more about this for sure. Is homework hard, or how's homework in general in college, I should say? Oh,
I can't answer that one.
Yeah,
I'm the one who gives the homework, so I can't.
Oh no, she's back. Okay.
I would say that I would say that a little time consuming. I would say as long as you pay attention to your classes, it's not that much harder. It just is a lot. You just have to make sure that you put sort of time limits on yourself to know, like, okay, I need to get this done by a certain day, so I need to work on it today and tomorrow, and not like wait and last rush it all and finish it.
Now, I can add something to that. And here, two things. One, you need to understand that many students are going through, or most students are going through the same thing that you were going. For most students in the first year of homework studying, it is significantly different, and it's a major jump from what they used to do in college, in high school, right? So ask around, talk to other people. The First Generation Guild, in that sense, it is extremely useful because they know what it's like to be a first generation student in a college. The other, as a professor, I have, and we all do, or most of us do, we have hours for students, an hour, a specific hour in our week, that an hour or two or more, that students can go to our offices and or can meet with us and talk about their concerns and talk about, their needs and what happened if they're having a hard time with a class or with a homework. Use them. It's very important that you use them. Don't be afraid of your professor. Just go out and do it, right? In my experience, students that use office hours do better in their grades, right? And I personally, I'm always there to talk to students as they ask me questions about the theme they're studying, and I try to help, right? So that is also an opportunity. That's also a possibility that you guys have. The OLLAS office, we hope, will be open, and it's open always for everyone that wants to stop by, grab a cup of coffee, or sit down and relax for a little while if you're in arts and sciences. In the arts and sciences
have
guild.
a conference room. Yeah, we also have a conference room where you guys are able to come in if nobody's using it and just study. So if you need a quiet place to study, that's always available. We also like the library, definitely use the library. I feel like that's a big thing that changed for me when I went into college. I used to do my homework at home in high school, and then just doing college work at home, it's like very distracting because you have this, you have that. It's just a lot of distractions. So definitely like going to the library or going to somewhere on campus to study is a big thing.
Nice.
There's also help in there's a writing center, there's a math tutoring center. So ask questions, and you can send us an email, and if we don't know, we'll ask around or tell you who you can ask, right? So I have no idea about the math tutoring program, what time it works, but I know where to find that answer, right? I actually know exactly the building where that happens, so we can walk you there if needed, or we can do those kind of things, right? So even if it's not related to our program, if it's not about OLLAS or Latinos or Latin American studies, if you have a question, just ask us.
Have you guys taken trips with the students that are involved in your, I guess, studies or program or organization?
We used to have a study abroad program in Peru. We did it for several years. Sadly, in the last few years, was getting too expensive for our students. A trip to Peru, just the airfare, it's $1,500. So it is expensive. So we had to cancel it. The university has a new partnership with the Universidad Veracruzana in Jalapa in Mexico, and that is a few hours away by plane, much cheaper, and it's also really, really beautiful. And I've been told that the food is fantastic. So there are programs there that students will be able to use that. I've been saying this for the last 3 years, but I hope it will happen at some point. I want to develop a study at home program where students actually in our area. So it's a Latino studies class where students go around the state right? They take a couple of weeks, they go around the state, go to the main areas where Latinos are located in the states, and do either community surveys or learning, or they do interviews to get to participate and communicate with the communities there. That is something I've been thinking for a long time, and I hope that after we're done with this current situation, that will happen. And I think that there are other programs. There are many other study abroad programs in campus as well, and exchange programs and all that.
Nice.
I guess I have a question. Like, since I'm going to be a first year freshman at UNO, I was like wondering, how can I be part of like OLLAS? Like, what can I do like to join you? Like, I don't know, like what can I do?
Anna.
So basically what I did, I was also in my first year, and OLLAS actually came to do a visit in one of my classes, and then I was like, oh, they sound kind of cool. So then I went to the office and I got more information about that, and then I was just like, okay, well, I'm doing psychology right now, and I feel like adding OLLAS to it would be really good, because obviously I'm gonna end up working with the Latino community. And then that's pretty much it. You guys get invited to like a lot of our events. We always try to make events for students. Charlas, which is talks where we bring in a professional about a certain topic, and they get to talk about either immigration, refugees, TPS, any sort of topic that deals with the Latino community or Latin America. And then we also do have a student luncheon. So hopefully by the time fall semester comes around, we're able to do that. And then any student that is interested in OLLAS can attend that, and we'll give you guys more information on there. You guys get free lunch, and the food is always really, really good. So that's a thing. And then you guys just can connect with other students at that event and professors as well. But you guys can always shoot us an email to have more information about us and about the classes that we're offering.
So would it be like, so for example, I want to go into medical humanities, like adding OLLAS would just be adding like Latino classes on top of that, or?
At the same level. So the university, a major is about 30 credits. Most majors are about 30 credits. But the total number of credits you need to take are 120, right? So basically you have half of the credits. So you have a quarter of the credits in one major, a quarter of the credits in another major, a bunch of credits in your math and your speaking classes and English comp and all of that. So it's not hard to actually put those two classes to those two majors together. In fact, there are our class on Intro to Latin American Studies, for example, that not only counts as our one for our major, but also counts as a general ed class, right? So if you take that class, right, you take a general ed requirement, but at the same time, you are already working on your major in OLLAS, right? For those who are bilingual in Spanish and are in arts and sciences, Melissa, are you bilingual?
Yes, I am.
So those who are bilingual in Spanish, in our case, do get 16 credits off, basically. So you don't have to do 120, you have to do 104 to graduate. You still need to take a couple of classes. Spanish for heritage speakers, 1 and 2. But that's it. I mean, you do have to take those two classes, but the 16 credits are waived. The language requirement is waived. So yeah, it's fairly easy to get a dual major. And actually I encourage you, with us or with any other program to do get a dual major. Anna has a dual major. Anna has a dual major and a minor on top of that. And I have another student who has I think it's a triple major in international studies. He's in international studies, Latin American studies, and something else. And one of our majors also had, criminology.
Spanish, I think.
Right. Spanish, exactly. Anna is right. It's Spanish, Latin American studies, and international studies. So, and she's graduating in 3.5 years. Okay, so it is possible. Okay, and it's fairly easy to have a dual major. It opens up all your opportunities, right? It gives you a larger breadth of knowledge, and you can speak better of what you know and what you can do. Anna, you can explain how hard it was for you, how easy it was for you to do a dual major, if you want.
I thought it was gonna be a lot harder just because I was like, oh, like requirements for both of these things. But it was like easy because I feel like if you knowing kind of what you want to do, it's just easier to take the like, oh, I know I need to take classes this semester. So then you like take the other ones the next semester. So if you really great advisors, which Chris and you are a director, are great advisors, they'll let you know classes you need to take and somewhat the order that you should take them in, just so that it's easier for you to keep on track when you want to graduate.
Well, I have a question that some of the students might eventually, especially if they are in a part of this program for sure, organization, however you want to say it. What are some internship opportunities that you guys had in the past, or that students maybe were involved in the past?
So the College of Arts and Sciences has an office for internships that you can directly go with them and talk to them, and they'll help you find one. In our major, we have a requirement that students have to do a short internship at the end of 4 months, half time, 4 months internship. This year, I mean, you can do it either as a research assistant for a faculty or for us in the office. If you want to go to grad school as a researcher, that will help you. It's good. It's a good internship. But you can also do it in a community organizations. Anna, can you remind me this year, because you were in that class, what internships we had?
One was for the South Omaha Learning Community. The Consulado de Mexico was the other one. And then I think it was just like a researcher.
But Jordan was teaching Spanish as a second language.
Yes,
English as a second language. Healthy kids.
Completely kids.
Completely kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those are, but again, in the past, we have worked with the Latino Center of the Midlands, with Heartland Worker Center, with many other organizations that we have contacts with.
Nice.
And while some of those internships are not paid, I know that at least in 2 cases, they've been hired right afterwards. One of them full-time, the other one for a few hours. But still, it's a good way of getting your foot at the door.
How is it handling like a double major on top of that, having a job or like an internship? Like, is it hard or is it manageable?
I think it depends on how many hours you're working. Obviously, I would say that if you have to work, I understand, because some people have to work just to pay college or pay whatever bills you guys need. But if it's something just like for, oh, you just want to make money on the side sort of thing, then I would say like 20 hours part-time is okay. I feel like going a little bit above that, it kind of gets a little overwhelming. Mostly if like you have school during the day and then you have work right after, it's kind of hard to schedule like when you're going to do your homework. But that's also why it's like really awesome when you guys get to pick your own like schedule for classes, because you can pick like, oh, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm gonna just have all classes, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I'll just be off. And so I feel like allowing to see like when your classes are gonna be helps you decide like how many hours you're able to work, as well as you'll be able to see like during the first 2 weeks how busy your classes are gonna be and whether you can work more hours or you're gonna need to work less.
Now, there's also opportunities for working on campus, right? Anna was a student worker with OLLAS before she became part of our staff, right? And campus hires a lot of students to work on it in the library or in any other areas. So that's also an opportunity. I have no idea how that works, but that's an opportunity.
Nice. Any more questions? Anyone? Well, for sure, I'll what I'm going to do for sure is I'm going to email you both and we have 4 scholarship recipients, Melissa's included, that are actually going to be attending UNO next year. And so we're going to include them all in the email. And well, actually, no. Yeah, it's 4. It might be 5 because I always remember. Well, Memo's already there, but he's going to be there next year.
Freshman.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. I'll probably add him too. So yeah, 4 or 5 students. One is already there, but I can't remember exactly if he's there or not yet. But yeah, I'll add them in the email. Especially use these links that you guys gave us, the flyers for sure. Just so they can stay in contact with you because they might have some questions because they weren't on the call and all that type of stuff. And because I would love for them to just definitely apply for this scholarship. That'll be great. Melissa, definitely you as well. Yeah. So any more questions from anybody regarding?
I have a question regarding the scholarship. I was wondering, like when, like we have to, the deadline is till the 12th, right now? Yes.
Mhm.
So when do we usually hear back from it? Like if we turn it in?
We meet with, the scholarship has a committee that meets, hopefully we're going to meet a couple of weeks after, right? So by the end of June. And that day we decide who gets the scholarship and who doesn't, right? It depends on whether the student has a FAFSA, and because that way we know how much they might need. It depends on their letters and depends on their essay and everything, right? So we hope to let you know as soon as possible, right? Now, if you get it, we let you know from the office ourselves. If you don't, you might get an email from UNO, which is a very, the same email for everyone. So it's kind of annoying. But we try to give you some news as soon as possible.
And Giselle, let your sister know. She's at Melissa's sister Giselle is at UNO as well.
True. That's definitely true. Well, yeah, we'll definitely send it to all our scholarship recipients that attend UNO. That's a great idea.
Yeah, of course. The next generation, they can apply at any point in time during their time at UNO. The blanking on the other one.
Andy Boyle.
Yes, that is only for juniors.
Junior standing.
Junior standing, right. One important thing I want to mention is that we know that this is a special time. We know that it is hard to imagine yourself in college next academic year. We also know that things are going to be different at UNO, right? And at all universities in the country. There's going to be less students in the campus at any given time, about a third. And many classes are going to be online. For first generation students, that makes it particularly difficult and easier for them to disappear. Please don't. Ask for help. Any help, right? Tell us what's going on with your lives, right? We will help you. We will find a way to help you, right? Even if it's online. I personally meet I teach smaller classes. So I meet with my students, even if it's online, at least once face-to-face in the semester. And I know that the other faculty is very, very much, or most of the other faculty, the ones that I know, are invested in you having an excellent education and a wonderful time at UNO. So don't disappear. Get in touch. Okay? Ask questions. Be around.
Well, Melissa, do you have any more questions? She'll have some more questions tomorrow, so that's okay. Well, thank you both for definitely being a part of our Zoom meeting today and YouTube Live. We really appreciate it. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for all that you do as well. We'll be sending a good amount of our members to you guys, and definitely to have you be involved, have them be involved in what you guys offer. We definitely appreciate it. Jermaine, you have anything before I let everybody go?
No, appreciate the information and taking the time to come on. We have a good number of students that are at UNO for next fall. So we will definitely be encouraging our students to stop by the offices. If we are still in the virtual world, we'll have them get on the website and connect via the website as well. So appreciate your support and all you do, and we'll be in touch with you all in the future for sure.
Thanks for the time and thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. See you around.
All righty. Well, thank you, everybody. YouTube Live, we are out. Everybody stay safe.
See y'all.